Hi everybody. Today we're going to use Spyfu for organic research. So Moz is a great tool in a lot of cases. You can also get a lot of value from Spyfu, not just from PPC, but also for your organic analysis. So let's get started. I've already entered the domain of interest, in this case, one Peloton, into the search box. Click on to get here the SEO research tab, and then just put the domain of interest in there. And here you're going to get the SEO overview. I can see here that Peloton is ranking on 177,819 keywords organically, and you can see here there has been significant growth. Those keyword rankings are generating an estimated 384,000 clicks per month, and if they were to be paying for those clicks in PPC, it would have a dollar value of 229,000. Now again, this screen is not speaking to the paid search investment that Peloton is engaging in. This is not about PPC. This is strictly about organic SEO. This estimated monthly SEO clicks value is simply Spyfu's estimate based on the cost of keywords in Peloton's keyword landscape that they would be paying for if they did not have these organic search results. It is not telling you how much they actually are spending on PPC, and it's not implying that these are paid results. This is their organic. So if we scroll down, you can see here that they're newly ranking on 84,000 keywords. They have lost ranking on 41,000 keywords, and they've improved their ranking on 32,000 keywords. You can see here that Spyfu is giving you the results going back 4 years and 2 months. So let's scroll down. And let's see what Spyfu tells us Peloton's top organic competitors are. Spyfu determines what these top organic competitors are by looking at the Venn diagram, in other words, the overlap of what keywords Peloton is ranking on organically and what other websites are ranking on a similar set of keywords, as many keywords in common as possible. So these are the websites with whom Peloton shares a lot of organic keywords in common. Echelon, Schwinn Fitness, Spinning, and Stages Indoor Cycling. They have a lot of keywords in common. You can see here that Peloton is actually ranking on more keywords than any of these others, but they have recently started ranking on just a bit fewer, but again, according to the data, they are rebounding and improving from that. You can see here how many keywords are overlapping between Echelon and one Peloton. They have 4,367 keywords in common in that they both rank on those keywords. Now here for Peloton, we can also see what their most valuable keywords are. Obviously, they're mostly branded ones and Lifetime Fitness. That they've newly started ranking on Peloton Bike, Lululemon Outlet, Galleria, and Lululemon Cyber Monday, interestingly. You can see where they are ranking a little bit higher recently, Peloton Stock, Peloton Cyber Monday, and where they've started to rank a little lower. But they're still obviously ranking pretty high. Now here, you can see the keywords where they have not yet reached the first page of Google, but they are very, very close. For instance, they are almost on the first page of Google, but they're still at number 14 for exercise bike, stationary bike, and interestingly enough, discounts for healthcare workers. Keywords that just made the first page include Garden State Plaza, Peloton Black Friday, etc. Some of these a little bit interesting as to how they've come up with this data, but you can see overall a good set of keywords that they're ranking on. You can see here, for instance, exercise bike, bikes, exercise bike misspellings, where their rankings have moved around over the past 2 years. You can also select here, I just want to see how their rankings have moved for the past year. Let's say I want to home in on exercise bike. You can see that they have crawled up considerably in their ranking on exercise bike, but they're still number 19 for exercise bike. If I hover here at August of 2021, they're at number 19 for exercise bike. Not stellar, but they are still there. Again, these are the keywords that Spyfu automatically selected as keywords that they think are relevant to Peloton. Let's say you want to investigate Peloton's rankings for a keyword that's not shown. There's a couple of different options. If you want to look at their organic ranking history over time, you can just hit the add button and you can just enter a keyword. We could just say, for instance, we want to look at exercise equipment. Just add that in, hit the add button again. And then it's going to process for a moment, and then it's going to look at their organic search rankings for that keyword that you have added. So while it is processing, let's go ahead and explore some of the other elements of Spyfu. If you want to look at their competitors in a little bit more detail, you can go over here, again, looking at their top organic competitors. And if you want to check out some of the others, like Nordic Track, you can just click here and you can add those to the list of the top competitors you want to look at. If you want to get out of some of these, let's say you don't consider Schwinn Fitness to be relevant, you can unclick that, and then you can see here an updated visualization of the competitors that we selected. You can click here to look at their SEO keywords. Click on View Chart. Go to View Monthly Clicks. That's going to tell you how many SEO clicks they have, and then the monthly dollar value if they were paying. But here, if we go back, you can see the trend for their monthly keywords. So now if I want to take a deeper dive into their keywords, I'm going to go on to the tab that says SEO Monthly Keywords. And I can see the ones that Spyfu considers to be the most relevant. Now for their automated analysis, you'd have to have you're going to need a higher subscription, which I will upgrade us to. But let's say, for instance, you're looking here at your keywords and you want to add something. We want to put in, for instance, stationary bike. I'm going to go and check those keywords. It found it very quickly. You can see here, again, as we saw in the earlier screen, that they are ranking at 11 for stationary bike, and they've actually gone up one ranking. Now, stationary bike is an important keyword for them to be ranking on because it has a search volume, a keyword volume of 96,000.3. So that's pretty important. And obviously they do rank number 1 for Peloton stationary bike, but when you go into just the short tail keyword of stationary bike, they are again at number 11. You can keep adding different keywords and it will add them to, for instance, to that chart. So let's pick another one. Let's go for exercise equipment. Add it in here. And again, this is a little bit different user interface than what you're going to get with Moz. And it gives you also slightly different analyses. So you can see here, let's say you are on the more affordable subscription. You're going to have to choose which one you want. And you can see here for exercise equipment, they actually are ranking number 97. And they've actually gone down 12 points. So their rank is number 97. So they're way deep into the 10th page almost on Google. And they've actually started to climb down from there. And again, here I'm showing you what you would get at a more affordable level of Spyfu, the one that you could probably subscribe to on your own. If you pay more to Spyfu, you are going to get even more data. And as you just saw, you can gather the same data on the affordable plan. It's just going to take you longer because you're going to have to do it one at a time. So if you want to do it in greater bulk, you'll have to have a higher level subscription. You can still get the same data. It just takes a little bit more time. And to save everybody time, I'll just upgrade this school account that I have. But again, you can get the same data. It just, what you're paying for in this case is speed and time savings. Speaking of speed and time savings, if we go back into the ranking history, that is a little bit slow to resolve, but it's essentially going to give you very similar data, only in greater depth than what you're seeing here at the very bottom of the report for Spyfu, where you can see their ranking history and have that mapped against all of the different updates. So let's just wait for that to upload, but that's what we already saw, which is looking at all of the different competitors that you have and where they have ranked over the past 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 4 years. So while we're waiting for that to process, let's go back here and look at their SEO reports. They have something called the SEO Recon Files Report. And what these are usually used for is to give people an update on the bottom line of their SEO rankings. So in other words, it's a tool designed for agencies, but you can also use it in-house to show people, for example, what new content is ranking, what the dollar value of organic search results are. We saw that, for instance, for Peloton, their organic search rankings are saving them over $200,000 a month in clicks that they would otherwise be paying for. And this gives you a very nice polished report that you can download and share with your customers if you are an agency, or share with your boss if you are working in-house. Now, if you want to go look at the top pages report, these are the pages that are getting the most organic traffic right now. And you can see here, in the case of Peloton, it's going to be their homepage, the bike page, the shopping for the bike page, as well as the tread and the membership. And again, you could get additional information on the higher level, but this is very good for just a quick and dirty analysis. Underneath here, you can also sort new pages that are getting a good organic ranking. So for instance, if I go through the new pages, it should deliver a report of what are the new pages that are ranking. You can see here the Start Your Free App membership has begun to rank recently. This tie-dye tee that they're selling, how do you download the app on Roku, and how to pair your AirPods. So these are things that have recently begun to get top organic traffic. So if you've done a recent content initiative and you want to learn more about whether that's working, you can go into the top pages report and again select new pages, and that's going to give you that information. Now the backlinks report is very similar to what you've already gotten in Moz, except that again on the lower cost level, you're not going to get as much data. It's up to you. I would say that from a cost perspective, the Moz backlink report is the most cost effective, and I wouldn't necessarily, if you have Spyfu, upgrade just to get the backlinks report, because you're going to get it at a better price from Moz. However, if you're already going to upgrade your Spyfu, this is a nice handy tool. And then finally, there's a tool called Combat. What that does is you enter a particular URL. In this case, you entered onepeloton.com. It's going to automatically pick 2 competitors. If you don't like these competitors, it did not automatically default to Nordic Track, Echelon Fit, and One Peloton. You can add a domain. You can also get rid of a domain. Let's say you don't want to see how they're doing against Echelon Fit. You only want to look at Nordic Track versus One Peloton. That's fine too. It's then going to give you that same Venn diagram of what keywords that they have in common. Nordic Track and OnePeloton.com have almost 12,000 keywords in common. In other words, they're both ranking. Both of these websites are ranking on these two. However, One Peloton has 225,593 keywords that they're ranking on all by themselves, whereas Nordic Track is only ranking on 48,243. If I go down further, I can see here that, for instance, if I scroll onto treadmill, the monthly search volume for treadmill is 577,000. The keyword difficulty is very high at 96. It would cost $2.46 for an ad on that. And organic clicks, however, account for 56.1% of those clicks. So this does not, by default, give you how each one is ranking. In the columns, you can, however, opt to show the number of desktop searches, mobile searches, ads, and home pages. So I'm going to just go in and select home pages. And you can see here 6 home pages are ranking for this keyword. Now, if you want to see how one is ranking over the other, it's saying that right now it does not have any data. So what I'm going to do is see what happens if I add Schwinn Fitness in there. Then I'm going to click on treadmill. And it's going to give me all of the keyword research that you've already seen. However, what we want to know is how well they do in comparison to Nordic Track on the keyword treadmill. So for that, I'm going to go back to SEO research. And again, it does take a little while to load. And we're back to where we were looking at all of the different keywords. And remember, we were looking at the keyword rankings in the organic ranking history. That has now loaded. So now we can see how they're ranking for instance, bike exercise, exercise bike. So now we're going to add the word treadmill in here. I'm going to run that search. Now we're going to see how they rank for treadmill. I'm going to click on that. And you can see you can hover here. Going to look at their treadmill rankings. And you can see that they're around 51. It doesn't actually go lower than 51 in these reports. So if you are below 51, it's just going to have the plus sign and 51. So here I can see that for the word treadmill, our friends at Peloton are not doing well. Again, I am looking at the trend line here just for Peloton. And they're not doing terribly well. So now if I wanted to look at the same data for Nordic Track, click on them. I'm just going to go into here for their SEO overview, give it a few moments, and then if I were to scroll down, I would be able to see how they're ranking for a treadmill. Let's go. They're actually ranking here. Actually, if you can already find them in the keyword click gains, that means that they've recently climbed up in the rankings, and you can see that that's actually the case. They are now ranking number 11 for treadmill, which is a change of 4. And if we go back to the same data visualization, which is at the bottom, but again, that's the part that loads the slowest. Once that loads, you'll be able to see their keyword rankings as that line graph that we were just looking at, showing the different keyword rankings. You can see almost their keywords as well. So this is our Nordic track data, and we can see that they're actually doing, in many cases, better than Peloton on some critical keywords, not just on treadmill, which obviously Peloton is not known for and not associated with, but also keywords that are relatively relevant, such as stationary bike, recumbent bike, exercise bikes. They're actually doing very well on those almost there keywords. So that's Spyfu. It's a very valuable tool. As you can see, it gives you some completely different data visualizations, and it is an excellent tool for your keyword research. I hope you enjoy it.